Let her
Straight
rip.
in there,
Tater
light
chip.
it, back up.
It was good. That tire went. Whew, whew.
I like the slow motion. That was great.
Oh yeah.
Slow motion.
My favorite part is when someone
Let her
doesn't
rip.
realize
Tater
what's going
chip.
on in the shop, and then they feel the percussion from the explosion. They're all like, "Whoa, what happened? You guys okay?"
What the heck? Oh
Yeah,
man.
you got to do what you got to do sometimes, and sometimes you have to make an incendiary device at work.
Dude, I called the
Yes.
shops that were around us and I was like, will you put these cross climate tires on for me if I drop them off? And like one of them we do business with, we help them, they help us. And the guy was like, no, we're booked up and those are kind of a pain in the butt to put on, so you guys figure that out.
No. Hola. Welcome back, everybody. We were running a little long on the pregame, hanging out, talking, and going over, current event sort of things. But welcome everybody. BP, what up? What up? Crowdster, I am watching you. Yeah, I got a lot of stuff I want to talk about. I got a list full. 21M05. I'm sure you guys have been getting recall notices from Ford Motor Company. And what is up with these diesels? Why is every time I hear diesels bad, bad, bad? I don't know why. So we're going to talk about it and see what you guys have to say. DS Trucks, what's up? He's been so silent. I haven't even heard a little peep, squeak.
Hey, you've been here like 30 minutes and no talkie.
He did tell me no one's perfect except for Rich, so
He left his purse in the house.
well, yeah, at least he supports me. That's fine.
Brake Clean Mafia, 430 gears.
Brake Clean Mafia.
Oh my God.
Going ham.
But we don't
I
have
got-
430 gears anymore, right?
No, we don't. He's got
Do we even have a real Super Duty anymore?
he's
Still
got
got
a
430.
duty.
It's still got 430 gears.
But do you really have that?
It's got the 7.3.
Oh, but it's not.
Yeah, but it's gas powered. I mean,
Oh,
It's not
you've left the
sucking gas
club.
and
Like you're no
hauling
longer
ass.
in the club, man.
and stinking ass.
I like
Holland.
that. The 7.3 is probably my actual. Not the 6.7 is going to be the ultimate dog. Don't get me wrong, but that 7.3 it would be my go-to.
It's starting to grow on me for sure. The
I'll tell
power's
you
there.
what, when they are in the Econolines that you can still get for fleet applications, them things sound bad. I
Oh, yeah.
mean, like it's got headers on it.
Dude, there was
It
a
sounds-
there was-
Mean.
There was a Fox at SEMA. There was a Foxzilla that me and Ray were working at. The guy had it was either
What?
it was like a
It was
twin
cool.
turbo or something set up, 7.3 liter. Because later on in the day, the guy was out on the street with that 7.3, and it was like, and I was like, what the hell? It's called a Foxzilla.
Next year, I go.
You're going
Mhm.
next year.
Next year, we all go.
We all go next year.
It was
Can we
funny
bring it?
because
Can we road trip it and bring a trailer so we can bring back goodies?
Ooh,
we
Mhm.
should.
Yeah.
It was funny because me and
Ooh.
Ray were
Crowdster.
we were walking down the line of the diesels, and we got to this one that kind of fascinated me a little bit. But the guy that was like standing out of the door, I didn't know how to take him, but it said Kratos in the grill. And I'm looking at it, and I was like, man, that's a big truck. And then I looked to the left, and the last three trucks that were in the row were all Super Duties that were like twice the size of that one. And I was like, well, if that's Kratos, what the hell are those Super Duties? 'Cause those things are massive.
That's awesome. I know. I saw a couple of pictures there on Facebook, and I saw one with tracks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to see
Yep.
that in person. I think that would be pretty sweet. I haven't seen. I mean, but a tank, but a vehicle with tracks in it, turning
Later on
and
that night, we
Crazy.
saw that the vehicle on the street, or what was it? I think Ray left. The next day I left, and when everybody was kind of getting their stuff together and everything, and they were closing down, it was not that I'm against females driving Super Duties at all. I think it's attractive, but it was a smaller lady driving that tracked Super Duty, and I was like, what? Just that thing, just right in the middle of traffic with everybody else, no problem.
Right on.
was it loud on the ground?
No,
No.
No.
Wow.
No.
I would just think it'd be tracky sounding, or however I can explain that.
I don't know about that. I think the technologies that they put into a lot of this stuff now is it's actually pretty legit. You know, like
Well, I mean, I've seen that Ken Block stuff. He's been
Well,
doing that
they're-
stuff for a while.
They're rubber tracks, you know, I
Yeah.
mean, not soft like car tire rubber, but they're not, you know,
Real
super
pliable.
hard rubber like something you'd find on an excavator, you know, somewhere in the middle.
Dang, you think you could do a burnout with them things?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
I bet you could. You probably could.
that'd be sick.
I don't see why not. I mean, I don't see why you would though, because if those things are priced at anything near like what you would find on a mini excavator, you know, it's probably like 10 grand for replacement tracks or something crazy like that.
I bet with the amount of power those Super Duties were making and how they were worked up, they probably would do a burnout like Ray said. But if it's like I don't know, if it was like a 15 or something, or like an earlier model one that wasn't all worked up and they just had tracks on it, that's a lot of contact material on the ground with those tracks.
For real, no doubt. Your fuel economy about to suck.
Yeah.
Suck. It should be cool though. I would dig him. Gotta share my excitement. I'm legit. Oh, this guy says he's 4 days from seeing his new trimmer for the first time. Oh, that's gotta be exciting. What's the first thing you're gonna do? First thing, anybody ordering the 6.7 high output? It's a funny story. My customer did oil change to his stuff and he's like, hey, Rod, he's like, I just ordered 223s. I'm like, oh man, awesome. I'm like, what'd you get? He said, I got a Lariat, you know, this. I'm like, did you get the high output 6.7? He's like, there's 2 engines? I'm like, yeah. He said he called his salesman back and he's like, did you give me the high output one? He's like, I didn't know what it was, so I just got you the regular one. He calls me back. He's like, what would you do? I'm like, well, I would want the high output. He's like, oh, I'll call you back. So he calls his salesman back.
And
Oh.
that is how vehicles get traded in with 241 miles on them.
Yeah,
There,
Yeah.
that's exactly
Yeah.
how it happens.
for sure. Absolutely. I thought that was funny though. He was he got the one high output and a gas job. 7.3. More of a work truck, but
Oh, something else to add to that, Aaron, that I forgot. Because if the customer is here in the comment section right now, because I told him 8 p.m. Central Time, he said he's having an issue with whenever he's towing something, he'll stop, like fill up fuel or something like that, set his parking brake, get out, and there'll be some kind of warning message or something after, I don't know if it's after he turns the key back on or after he sets the parking brake. It'll say something about turn signal or left flasher or something error. And he'll have to turn the key back off and then restart the truck again and it'll clear out. But it's something to do with when he's towing and some kind of light or signal, some kind of error that pops up on the screen whenever using the parking brake.
when using the parking brake,
And
Yeah.
only when towing.
I mean, it's from what I remember, yes, it was when towing and.
I
stop
do
and
just have a
start.
truck at work that's got a corroded 7-pin.
Well, that's what I brought up, and he said, no, after all my
Okay.
research, he said, I
Okay.
actually went and watched all like as much information as I could. And I cleaned out the internal connection and the external connection and made sure that wasn't all rotten.
How
And it'll-
tight is the fitment on the trailer side of the 7-way connector?
If he's in the comment section, he said
I'd want to know, because if it's bouncing around and moving, you might be getting an intermittent open circuit.
but it seems to be only after setting the parking brake. And I was thinking that maybe something wrong, like up underneath that area where the parking brake's at, the module's back there. I wonder if it's like pinching a wire or something whenever it's set and then releasing it. I don't know.
Parking brake? What in the hell does that have to do with anything?
Does the
Somebody
does the
asked me
parking
something.
brake command any actuation of perimeter lights when it's set?
In the trailer module, does this
I'm
have
saying-
LED lights or incandescent?
You're asking me a question.
Because this is kind of stupid, I think, on Ford's part. I mean, I guess because I don't know, and so I feel it's stupid. But I don't know why you would do this. So you know how in the incandescents you have two bulbs, top and bottom?
Mhm.
The top are controlled by the BCM or vice versa. The lowers are controlled by the auxiliary lighting control module.
Hmm.
Like what the? So you can literally have just the bottom bulb blinking fast. You're like, what the hell? Replace the bulb, no problem. Just thinking it's a normal, when really there's a fault with the auxiliary lighting control module. And I had this happen to me on a utility truck for a fire department. So it was just like a stripped out super cab with, two-wheel drive lights and, all this stuff. And they had a wiring issue back there. And this is how I learned about, this other module. It's just like, what the hell? So I don't know if it had LEDs or incandescents. I wonder if there was any codes or something in the auxiliary lighting control module.
Yeah.
I know right above the parking brake, there's that wire harness right there. It's got like 3 connectors. I
Mhm.
came across the issue when they were using the parking brake. It was actually pushing on that harness, and then I was getting loose pins. So I had to repin
Oh.
it.
Like the 3 bolt connectors right there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, okay, interesting. What about you? Have you found water or anything in your units, like in the sills in your Luma duties?
Mm-mm.
No. Okay.
Nope.
He said he ain't got those problems, man.
We ain't got them problems. Isn't there something about the power to charge the trailer battery doesn't turn off when in park without the parking brake or something? It has to be activated. DS, isn't it? You have to put it down and drive and give one like brake pedal application. And then you're to have
Something
12
like that.
volts, 12 volts back there.
Honestly, I think you just have to start the vehicle. If everything's functioning correctly, you might just have to start the vehicle in order to get 12 volts. Isn't that what you were saying that one time we were talking about this?
We were looking at that one of the last few times that we were here, and I think what we were talking about is we found out that you had to start the vehicle and at least move the vehicle forward or have it like in motion, and then have like one braking event, and then it would activate the charge line for the rear of the vehicle.
I remember reading that. You got to make sure the fuse is good too.
Yeah, the fuse I find a lot of those fuses blown.
Yeah.
But I also a lot of it, I can't confirm this, but I suspect a lot of it is bad trailer grounds as well.
Yeah, sometimes the trailer wiring, I didn't know, my trailer's not really cheap, but they use the cheapest wire. Everything in the truck side is 30 amps and 10 gauge wire. Sometimes on the trailer side, they go below that wiring and it starts popping breakers and it starts burning up the wiring if they're not running 10 gauge wire. That was the issue I was having.
And then remember we were talking about that setup, DS, that bypass setup. We were going to look for that looped wire in the connector up underneath the dash. We looked up that wire. Yeah, we were going to do that, and that's what would on key on immediately start sending power back there to the trailer using that loop.
So with mine, as soon as I've changed out that fuse, now every time I start the vehicle, I have power back there.
Oh.
Just a matter of keeping up with the fuse. And then on my trailer, what I found is my trailer wiring is not gauged high enough. So I have to change the whole 7-way. I don't know where they found this harness, but whatever they use from the factory is like 14 gauge and it's melting down before. I mean, it'll pop the fuse a couple times and now it's melting the wiring. So that was the issue I was having as well.
You guys, if you remember the short I had, it was, I mean, you probably won't remember, but it was a good 9-10 months ago. We had a 350 dually come in and the in-bed 5th wheel 7-pin adapter, the inside in the fender, in the back rear quarter was all melted all exposed copper. It looked like it had been overheated. It just reminded me when you were talking about that. I don't know. We didn't determine that it had any chafe spots, but only left to assume that whatever was plugged into it or something in that receptacle.
I'll look at those wires that Anthony was talking about with up above that parking brake tomorrow. When I
Yeah,
can get it out of the stall and have a little bit more room, I'll back it out so I'm not gimping into the door. It's with
I
my
know.
head.
It's literally right up where the parking brake is. It's like right there in the corner, and you can easily hit it with if it's not routed the correct way, like mine wasn't, it
Yeah.
was actually rubbing on it.
Speaking
Hey, Rod.
of, yo,
Hey, Rod, tell them about what we saw over the weekend with that fuse box, man. That was crazy.
okay, so we have a brand new 22 550 dump 6.7, and they bought it from a local dealer, and obviously the dealers, we don't put the dumps and stuff on. They go and get upfitted out somewhere else, and that gets all worked into, you know, the cost of the vehicle. Well, they took the fuse box cover off, the BJB right behind the passenger battery, and drilled a hole right in the middle of it, and then needle and threaded this red wire through the lid, put the lid back, and put the fuse and wire down where they needed, and then slid the cover back down so that they had this red spaghetti hole wire coming through the battery junction box and going to whatever accessory. But what they failed to realize was directly above that hole with a wire going through it, so it's got a perfect highway for all this water to dump right off the cow. I say plow truck. All this snow and ice to melt right off the cowl and follow this perfect road and let water drip down and silently take that BJB out. And I called the customer over here. I'm like, dude, did you do this? He's like, oh man, I just bought it. I'm like, what? What is this? Oh, for crying out loud. I mean, you could have at least just put the wire in and then slam the box cover down on it, but to drill a hole right through it,
Might as well get a
you didn't put any
BJB now.
dum-dum or silicone around the hole or anything?
Something.
Oh my goodness.
Some TA31.
Or, I mean, you're right by the harness where you can grab power. This is right there. You know, the ignition power is right on the upfitter switch bundle. So why not just?
A lot of guys, I don't think, know that. If you all need 12-volt hot when the key is on, if you have upfitter switches, in that bundle, they leave you a brown with a violet tracer, and that is going to be your power supply for whatever you want with the key on. So you're not having something tethered to the battery, which if you do it nicely, you know, you can make it look OE. And the battery rubber cover that goes down over, it's kind of, you know, got like a salt bay thing, you know, comes down over the clamp, you know, like that. And it's got like a little door or a little window that you can actually put, you know, a eyelid on and use the lug that's on the passenger, the positive cable, and then put that cap back down. It looks good, you know.
Yeah. The 21 MO5 unintended tailgate opening.
BCM reprogram. What else are you doing?
Huh?
I said, and BCM reprogramming. What else are we doing for that?
Well, this is he's already had the initial one done where we put the, you know, isolate the two wires and then run our own in there and stuff like that. And he said that it did fix the majority of the unintended tailgate opening. It did get a lot better, but he said randomly he can, you know, come out to his truck and start his truck and the tailgate's already open, even after the previous repair. And I said, so that does leave you are a candidate for the second version of the 21 MO5 that they updated. But in order for me to do that, we have to contact SSSC. We have to submit like the vehicle information and stuff. They have to send us the special ground pack, harness, relay, whatever, blah, 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 that's got to go into this thing. And then it's like a 4-hour job to rip everything apart and get everything installed properly. So especially if it's your first time doing it, you better drop the vehicle off in the morning and expect to have it gone the majority of the day and not, get it back, because I've not done one of these yet. And this will be my first. So we're going to have to order the harness, and then, over the next couple of days, SSSC will end up sending the harness out, but that's the process. It comes in, you state your case, then the parts department has to special order it, and then it comes in when it comes in.
It's a pain because you see the other part of it where, they talk about the windshield leaks and like taking all the fuses out of the BCM, checking for corrosion,
Yep.
putting them all back in, applying XG12. And it's like, sometimes, when you take apart connectors and somebody's just recently put grease in it and it's just all,
Yeah.
dude, can you imagine what that BCMs are going to look like?
Yeah.
Bro. That's going to be disgusting.
I mean, a fellow might be determined to look at that and be like, you know what? Water and stuff is not getting in here. There's nothing corroded in here. I have not squirted this thing full of XG12. It's going to be a mess. And what they want you to go through. And then, on top of that, this one needs a steering stabilizer. So I went in there and I said, give me a steering stabilizer for this truck. She looks it up and is like, oh, guess what? It's on national back order.
Oh yeah, guaranteed.
She's like, yeah, there's like 2,000 of them pending to be released sometime within the next week, but they don't have an exact date, and they don't know if you're going to be one of the people that get it if you order it.
What I tried looking up today was a contamination kit, Linebaker 246. I'm sure you guys know the contamination kit that Ford has with all the high pressure fuel system components, and 148 people are waiting for it. And it kind of boggles my mind that, I don't know what part they're missing, but I can literally source every piece separately and have everything within 4 to 5 days instead of waiting with no ETA. What up, Brew? What up, Brew? Bill Spruce?
Things are weird.
First time
right now,
see Rain Man, big fan. Oh, 250 high capacity tow.
Things are really weird right now.
Towing heck yeah. What flavor are you running, Bill?
Amsoil for sure.
Yummy. Good flavor.
Amsoil's good stuff for sure.
And sound like he'd be a good candidate for some forescan, because if he's towing, good watching those coolant temps and monitoring the diesel particulate filter with the OCR. That's a real important one. It's like probably a very popular turning on that. It's a big thing, and it's so funny when you guys are just riding around in your trucks and you have no idea, and then we turn on OCR and the DPF filter percentage, and you're like, I'm like, what's the filter say? And they're scrolling down and they're like, oh, it's at 80%. You would have never known. And it's important for you to know how full it is. Then you can base your driving habits differently and around how full that filter is, and the use of that auto regen box. Take that check mark off sometimes, and once that gets to 100%, you'll be able to it will prompt you, do you want a clean filter, exhaust getting full, clean soon now? And yeah, it's A1 definitely. And even if you have forescan, having the ability to run a manual regen, and with the scan tool that we just did a little video on, pulling some codes and just kind of navigating. You actually do a manual regen and power balance and relative compression tests and IQAs, all from this one. And this is not just Ford. So it was something you guys probably going to be excited for. Stay tuned to the channel. I think Ford Boss maybe had that. I thought I got one. I think you
So-
guys probably like it, that launch with that auto VIN detection.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was pretty slick.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was pretty slick. Even if you're a do-it-yourselfer or have like a small fleet of vehicles that aren't just Ford.
You talking about the Think Car, Think Diag?
Oh, hold on, I got the box right here. This one.
I got one of those in my console.
I thought I saw you had this. I could have been wrong.
Dude, I don't know. Everybody wants me touching their stuff right now. 3 companies just sent me 3 scan tools, so I'm gonna have to go through like everything.
This one?
Not a launch one. No, I have a couple different ones that I use. The main one at work is the Ansel DS600. It's like
Okay.
It's like $1,000 unit. It's all auto detect, and I use it for everything: monitoring trans temps, monitoring data logger stuff. It's much faster to get into the system than using the Ford software. So I just auto detect and I go right into it, health report, right into the modules, and I'm immediately looking at data logging data.
That's awesome. I
That's
haven't.
how I
used
do the
Ansel.
trans services and stuff on the 6F35s whenever and like the 10R80s and 10R60s and all that other stuff is I use that to hook in and then monitor my trans data so I can make sure that I'm at the full level at the specified trans temperature to make sure everything's legit.
Went straight responsible adult. You guys cracked me up.
You know, that
Um,
storm's like 400 miles wide. It's coming straight for all of us.
Oh,
He said it was going straight for his house. Like, yeah, it's coming straight for all of us, Brian.
is it worse or what than the
No,
last one?
I don't think so. They said it'll be like a category 1, like 70-mile-an-hour wind, 75, something like that. The weather guy in Tampa, he said it's nothing to board the house up over. Just make sure everything's put away and none of your stuff can blow away, things like that. So
I mean, I put my recycle bin out at the road. Screw
yeah,
it.
I'm not boarding the house up for this one. No.
Supposed to hit me Thursday night into all day Friday, but nothing
And then
major.
this one had this truck, even though it was a 19 that we were talking about earlier, Aaron, it had the under shield or not under this, it was the shielding underneath by the drive shaft. And I hadn't seen a 19. I thought it was all like 21 and above stuff, but this is a Super Duty that says all the way back to 19. It says you got a 160-inch base, climb underneath the vehicle, look and see if you have the shielding on the driver's side and the passenger side. It was just the passenger side. So you had to drill the 2 holes in the back of the heat shielding underneath. And then you had to put the rivets and washers in there with the
Mhm.
urethane. And
Yep.
I swear to you, for the life of me, I would love to strangle the shit out of whoever at Ford decided that was the best route to go to keep that thing up there. Why wouldn't you just have some like high temp, heavy duty urethane, pull the corners down, put it up there, settle
Mastic patch or something.
something? Instead, you give us these itty bitty rivets. They got to go through these washers, and you say, this is what you want us to use. And then we're sitting there trying to break our freaking wrists holding the rivets in the bottom of the damn truck, and we pop them out. Up, didn't hold. Give me another one. Up, didn't hold. Give me another one. Up, didn't hold. Give me another one. 7 rivets later, like, I don't care. You're going to keep feeding me these things, and they're going to get charged to Ford for the stupid idea that they gave us.
How many guys do you think have drilled through the carpet?
Oh my God.
Wink.
I'm like, I'm terrified when I'm underneath there. I'm like, zzz, 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 zzz. I'm doing these little bursts because I'm like, I'm not going to be that guy that goes through the customer's carpet. I don't care if it takes me twice as long. I'm not doing
Ford
it.
boss gets rid of the electrics and he's there with a grinding drill.
Dude, I was so excited to share with you guys. I found a rivet apparatus that goes on the front of your drill. It like literally goes into the chuck of your drill, and it's a handheld You grab the top of it and you drive it with your drill, and it pulls the assembly in. It gets in really tight spots. But
Really?
when you're using the size of a rivet that they want you to use in those Super Duties, good luck holding on to that thing while your drill's taking you with it, breaking your freaking wrist. It ain't gonna happen.
Wow.
I broke the tool because I had to take a pair of pliers and put it around the base of it to hold it while the Milwaukee drill is driving it. And it was like, I was like, no, I grabbed the tool and I threw it right in the garbage. I said, nope, I'm not doing a review on that thing. Let me go back to the pneumatic one. So I went and grabbed the pneumatic and I used that. Yeah. I don't know why they wouldn't have gave us longer rivets to go through to make sure we were really in there, and then there's plenty of carpet there to where you would have never even seen them or felt them. I don't know if it's cost or what it is. It's the stupidest thing ever.
Did you guys see where they sent the transmission seals to Mason flying wrenches? Each individual one in a bag inside of another bag. He had
Oh,
like
yeah,
a
I
box
seen
full
that.
of bags.
Yeah.
They did something recently like that to our trans guy where he ordered something specifically for, I don't know if it was a 10R140 or something like that. And he ordered something specifically. And when he opened it up, he was like, what the heck is this? Like, why are these used to be packaged very nicely and stuff. And I have like a bundle of seals that's all just shoved right down in a box. And they just sent it to me and said, figure out what you need. It was like,
I can see that happening.
I've never ordered something so I mean, just don't get me started, guys. Don't get me
In a
started.
disarray.
I'm
In a disarray.
I'm really, really, really displeased by how everything is showing up right now, parts wise, and all the issues that we're having right now. It's absolutely freaking insane.
Yeah, it's real sad.
Mhm.
There's nothing we're gonna do about it either, and it's not just in our avenue. It's freaking all over the place.
Oh yeah.
Just we gotta deal with it, I guess.
You got to deal with it, work around it.
Well, here's the issue, and I'll make this very plain and clear. You guys are gonna agree with me, you don't agree with me. I could care less. I mean, this is me speaking on my own I'm my own man, my own brain, and my own thinking. When
I already
go
don't
from-
agree with you.
Oh, I don't give a shit. Anyway, when I go from easily clocking 40 to 50 hours a week, making a constant, steady paycheck, enjoying my job, enjoying everything about what I do, and looking forward to doing this, learning more and working on different things and stuff like that, to at one point even up to 60 hours a week. And now you're lucky if you make 30 by the end of the week because you can't get parts. People don't want to come in. They don't have confidence in stuff anymore. You can't get what you need to close out your jobs. You've got customers' cars sitting in the damn parking lot for weeks, if not months, and you can't close out this stuff to keep making an honest living. And not everybody's a freaking union. So somebody up top somewhere needs to see that this crap is going on and hope that everybody stays on board with them while they're going through it. Or there's going to be people that have already, they've already gotten tired of it and left the business because they're tired of it.
Is it ever going to end?
You can't make an honest wage anymore. And I'm not saying you can't. Sure, there's some weeks where I do very, very well, but that's me grinding, bringing my own customers and stuff in for fluid maintenance and other things like that, because I have to step up my game now to really bring people in to come see me, where before I didn't have to do that. I could just focus on getting the job done. Just working, getting the job done. And now it's just not happening anymore. And I've thought, don't get me wrong, I've thought several times, why am I doing this? And everybody else in the shop too, guys that were clean, to the T, dotting all the I's, doing everything that they could do by the manufacturer, getting all the warranty work and stuff done, just loving, staying busy. Now they're like, what the heck, man? I can't even close out an honest paycheck at the end of the period because the work's just not there. The parts aren't there to do the work.
I just ordered a 10R140 today. Projected date off back order 12/28.
Yeah. My buddy's doing an engine in a 2.7 F-150 right now. And they gave the guy an option. You can get a junkyard motor, or you can just wait till whenever this comes off back order because nobody has one and there's no ETA.
Wow.
So the
Jeez.
customer's just like,
You
He
wanna
could
buy
get
this
a-
thing off me?
What he could do is get a junkyard motor, and when it does come in, install the new one. Double dip.
I'll let him know that.
So I got an
Double dip it.
update.
There's no ETA on it.
That's an interim repair as far as I'm concerned.
That's right.
I got an update email today on my bank's exhaust that I've waited 4
Oh,
months for.
yeah, I forgot about that.
They sent me an email and an invoice for $99, and they said my item is ready to ship, and here's the shipping bill. Yeah,
Wow.
What?
and that's after about 6 weeks ago. I emailed them and said, "Hey, where's my exhaust that I ordered?" And they said, "Oh, sorry, we had trouble locating your model. Blah blah blah. You can expect it within 2 weeks." And that was like
Wow.
6-8 weeks ago. But I got an update. They need $99 more, and then they will give me my parts. And that's aftermarket. That's a Banks exhaust.
Wow.
So
I had a
it's not
Tahoe I
just
was working on. Oh, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say it's not just the dealerships, it's the independent, parts houses, and apparently it's the aftermarket too.
Everything is screwy.
No parts. There's nothing.
I was just sitting there ordering freaking cat food for the cat because I got about a week left of food. And I'm looking at the thing and it says, buy now for 46 something, save 30% one time, or get on a subscription and get it every 2 months. And I said, man, I don't even want to keep ordering this. Just give it to me every 2 months. And if I stack it up, I stack it up. I don't care. And I ordered the big giant bags. And it said, oh, we won't ship it until December 6th. But if you order one bag right now, which I was going to get one bag anyway, and then they were going to put me on a list for every 2 months, you can get it tomorrow. How in the hell does that make any sense? You're sending me the same bag and you're putting me on a subscription list. Why are you going to ship it out December 6th when I can get it right now and you can still put me on the fucking list? Doesn't make any sense.
It's like I got a Tahoe at work. It's a 2020. Yeah, 2020. Needs brakes all the way around. Still have not got the front rotors. It's been 3
Wow.
weeks.
Rotors right now with a
What is the
lot
deal?
of manufacturers are having, guys are saying they're going to the parts houses, not even like the OE, like they're going to AutoZone and O'Reilly and everything else.
What the?
They don't
And
even have them.
they can't
Yeah.
get them.
What?
Yeah, they can't.
I
Get
can't even get brake rotors from Power Stop right now because they're back ordered.
them. Mhm.
I don't get it.
What? I didn't know about this.
That's what I've been waiting on for 6 months.
Hey, by the way, those Power Stop
6 months.
rotors, they're pretty good.
That's why I'm waiting for them. I wanna, dude.
I put their Power Stop rotors and pads amongst what everybody was saying. Oh, I'll buy that cheap stuff, whatever it is, and they weren't really that cheap. They're almost comparable to the other stuff. But
Yeah.
I put them on the Sierra. They stop. I've been running them 6-7 months now. They stop absolutely beautiful. No warping. No
dust.
nothing.
No dust.
No
I've been
nothing.
thinking about putting them on the hybrid
dust.
because Erica's blew through 2 sets of rotors on her hybrid already.
And yours is sensitive too, because that thing will pick up if there's any issues with stopping coefficient and all that braking coefficient.
Mhm.
Think about vibrates your teeth out when you're stopping the damn thing now.
I remember one of yours came in, one of your hybrid escapes came in, and it was so sensitive. It picked up something was wrong with the brakes. It flagged the code almost immediately after the guy let it sit for like 2 weeks, came back from vacation and tried to drive it. And it flagged the code for braking coefficient immediately. And I had to redo all the brakes on that thing because it was
Oh man.
Ooh.
Yeah. Power
I'm
Stop.
reading.
I don't
I'm
know.
reading. Brake rotors are up 30 to 40%, or the brake pads are up 30-40%.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Rotors have doubled.
Yeah.
I mean, right now you can't even get a 5-liter.
Yeah, that's really bad.
I've been waiting on one since March. Brian's been waiting on one since February.
Oh, did you talk to parts on that one?
I did. He came and got his truck while we were all gone to SEMA, and then I didn't know he came and got his truck. So he said when he brings his truck back today, it was supposed to be today, but I didn't see him. Tomorrow when he comes to pick up his Econoline and drop his truck back off, he said now he's got a new problem as well, that when he goes out to his truck to start it sometimes, he doesn't even have to touch the shifter and the backup camera automatically turns on in his radio display. it's displaying the backup camera behind him just after he starts the vehicle, and he doesn't even have it in reverse. So he's like, I want you to check out that electrical problem as well. So this will be the second 5-liter that I will be waiting on. And one of them I've been waiting on since March.
Yeah, any of those NA motors, even like 6.2, you can go with the LP conversion engines if you can't get the regular ones.
And I talked to him about that. And, you know, he brought this up as well. I hope it stays between us. Anyway, I'm sure other people watch this. And he was like, Rich, if we do get an engine for this thing by some miracle, could I come by and assume all responsibility and take that new engine to the local machine shop and have them blast out those cylinders and actually sleeve them and then give it back to you, put back together? And I'll accept there being no warranty on it. That's fine. But can I come and get my engine that I'm duly owed for the plasma line cylinders and the oil consumption? And I will take that and assume all responsibility, have the heads pulled off, everything pulled off, and I'll have that motor worked and all that plasma line stuff blasted out, and I'll have it sleeved and put back to stock the right way, just like the previous gens were.
True
I said,
that.
well, I don't see why, because Ford's going to get back their core anyway. So why would I say no to that?
Yeah, my buddy Dennis in California, he's got a 2018 Mustang. He's on his 3rd engine because of the
Yeah.
plasma line.
I mean, they even do it to the 1st and 2nd gens. They sleeve them.
Yeah.
When they
But
start
the-
making power.
Well,
But-
yeah, I mean, not doing that at the dealer.
Yeah, but he said, will you put it? You don't have to. Let me come get my engine. Let me work it up and do what I have to do to know. Because he said, I want to die with this truck. I love this truck. It's the best truck I've ever had. So he said, let me work it up. I give it back to you. You install it. Ford's off the hook for any warranty on it after that. Let's well, we'll talk.
Yeah.
I don't know about all that. I mean, or else we're just going to keep putting engines in certain ones. I mean, they all didn't have the oil consumption problem, but a lot of them did. So
Mine,
oil
mine didn't have that
consumption.
problem.
Oil consumption's not good. Sounds like you'd be burning pollutants, making
Mine didn't.
pollutants.
Mine didn't have any of that problem, but he's on his 3rd one, and now it's back in the shop because he said it sounds like water sloshing up underneath him, and the dealer told him that the coolant was low and they needed to burp the system.
I mean, it's a lot of the F-150s I've been getting, I've had it to where the back glass is leaking around the seal where the slider is, if he had a slider, and then it would creep down the back. I have a video on this too, and other texts were like, dude, how did you spot that? I didn't. It took 3 of us with flashlights with water being sprayed on the back of this truck to sit there and just look. And I happened to catch it right out of the corner of my eye as the water was starting to creep down the rubber track from the seal. And it was going down the back of the cab and then getting under the carpet. And it would fill up that area, and it would sound like it was sloshing back and forth when you were stopping. It was that back glass. I've had a few of them where that back glass, the seal, not on the outside, but in the center where the window slides back and forth, is defective.
I think it was the 15 Mustang had that. It sounded like water sloshing in the frame rail, and it actually was back in the quarter panel. And you had to raise it up, and they wanted you to drill 2 small holes right in the bottom of it so it'll drain out.
Yeah.
And I know you've come across the F-150s with the water in the door.
Yeah. Well, my
You mean
service,
You mean the water? You mean the water holder, the door? The water tank?
service director just got rear-ended in his Platinum Explorer, his new body.
Uh,
And he picked up a Platinum F-150, and he came by and he was like, Rich, can you come out here? I know you're good with these weird things and these sounds and stuff like that, but I'm like, stop. And it sounds like these doors or something is full of water. And I went out there and I was like, yeah, right there. Nobody pulled the plugs out of the bottom of the door. So I pulled the plugs out and I threw them in the garbage, and all this water just comes gushing out of the doors. And he was like, are you fucking kidding me? And I was like, yeah.
damn.
First thing I do with any of these F-150s where it has any kind of water or door lock freezing or anything, I pull those plugs out and I throw them in the trash. They don't need to be in there. First
Throw
mod
them in the
anybody.
trash.
And then there's I stopped at Roche Ford and met some of the guys out there. I had to pick up a fuel pressure regulator or something like that, or a fuel I forget what it was. It was something for a Super Duty, and they didn't tell me what it was. And I think he was doing a high pressure kit. And he was missing some of the stuff that he needed. And we ordered that individually. I stopped by and picked them up, and I was talking to one of the techs, and he looked like he had a 5-liter sitting right there on the ground. I was like, dude, I'd give my left leg for that thing right now, man. And he was like, yeah, it looks like you're limping on it. I guess you wouldn't miss it. And I said, yeah, that's beside the point. He said, you know how long we waited for that? We waited almost a year for that thing. And he said,
Holy shit, for
He said,
real?
you should see all the cop cars out back that are sitting waiting on repairs. We just did five Explorers in the last 2 months where they came in with rod knocks, 2 3.0 liter twin turbos in the Explorers and 3 3.3 liter Duratex rod
Wow.
knocks. Yeah. And they're a high volume dealer. They got like triple or quadruple rows across the dealer, and then all these different techs working throughout the dealer, and all these like, dude, this freaking dealer is massive. And cop car, all the way down the shop, just full of cop cars. And he said, yeah, 5 Explorers in the last 2 months, rod knocks.
Dang.
Yeah.
That ain't no good. I
No.
wouldn't want to hear that in a duty. Especially a brand new one, because that would suck.
We're doing
know
a
what
lot of
else?
high pressure fuel systems in them right now. They're keeping us
Really?
busy. The high pressure fuel systems. Yeah.
I just got a guy who unfortunately put DEF in his diesel fuel, and that's why I needed that 9 Baker 246 kit. So he unfortunately started and ran, and it ran long enough to I wanted to see if had got up to the engine, and I took the fuel lines off the engine, took one return line off, and there's little stalagmites. Stalactites. Stalactites come from the ceiling, or stalagmites? I don't know. Whatever. They were
I think
shit-
the stalactites come from.
Yeah, they were
top
coming
down.
out. It was furry, the ends of the fuel lines. So it's if you put
Look
diesel
it up.
or gas in the diesel, or you got water, I would rather that happen than have you put DEF in it. That's just the worst, and it's such a pain in the butt to clean because it gets all flaky and dusty and crusty, and everything has to be replaced. Some may be clean,
Crystallized.
but it's bad. Really, really bad.
Oh, we just had our first, I told you about it, I think, that we just had our first 21 F-150 with 19,000 miles on it. Cam phaser rattle on startup. So now that's going to be part of the SSM or the TSB for the Bronco and whatever, the Aviator or something like that. I bet you that F-150 is going to start fitting in that now. Phasers. 21 model.
Yeah, flying wrenches. He's always doing phasers.
He had a
Half
video
off.
on that. He had a
Have
short
you
on
done a
that.
head on one of those, Rich?
Huh?
Have you done a head on one of those Broncos yet for the valve failure or whatever it was?
Oof.
No. Last I heard there were about 55 to 60 cases of them, and they were isolated to around April of 21, and most people were just doing whole engines.
Mhm.
Yeah, they'd get a low time in service engine. It'd shit the bed.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what your warranty's for. It was only a small amount of engines, but people are making a big deal.
Yeah. Ford caught it pretty quick.
Yeah, it was like the valves that were manufactured in like April or something like that. Just
Yeah, it was
a bad
hardening.
batch of them.
It was a
Keepers.
hardening issue. And you know what? You know, the bad thing about this is, or the good thing, but bad thing about this is, just like Cody said, people are making a big deal about this before it announced it to the public and the consumer, before they even announced it to us. They wanted them to know, hey, we recognize there is a problem here. So they actually got ahead of that way ahead of time and said, well, okay, we recognize there's a problem here. We're going to fix it. You know, it's isolated. And then we found out about it. So that was kind of good on their part that they
True.
said, you know, hey, we're giving you this information ahead of time. The techs don't even know this yet, but hey, now the techs know it.
Yep. Then everyone made a big deal about it.
Yeah.
And somebody else is making a big deal out of it is these not super duties, but these diesel trucks and super duties being included. And it's not just that, just super duty Super Duties, I think they're way more popular, but that's to each its own. But what they don't like coming out the tailpipe, I personally feel that these diesels on the road today are cleaner than the diesels that were on the road 20 years ago. Six
yeah.
O's, yeah, them things,
100%.
they were dirty. But now that we've gotten into fine tuning these high pressure fuel systems and reaching 36,000 psi out of a 2020 up Super Duty, there's a lot more. The finer tune you can spray that fuel into the cylinder and make sure every bit of it is used, the more power you get, the cleaner it is, the less pollutants. But when you burn diesel fuel, what do we create? We create NOx and particulate matter. And people don't like particulate matter, and neither does the atmosphere. But, I think, when you have a diesel truck, you get like a kind of I guess you want to call it like a diesel cloud cast on you. And it's, yeah. You're Mr. Big Polluter. I don't necessarily think that. I mean, it's just a different way of how we propel the engine to move, which in turn drives the vehicle.
I mean, it's no dirtier than mining lithium.
But see, that's where the DEF comes into play, where it's injected into the exhaust stream through the grate, and a chemical reaction occurs. Basically,
Hey,
turns
what
it
kind
into
of
water.
reaction?
Chemical reaction.
Chemical.
Chemical. What kind of chemical is that DEF, BFT?
It is distilled water and urea.
Ooh. I
It's
wonder
like
what
a 50.
that gets on your paint. Nasty.
It crystallizes and it doesn't look good.
Nasty.
It smells nasty too.
So what happens after you inject the urea in chemical
It's
reaction?
injected into the exhaust stream behind the filter, and it mixes with the NOx, which goes through the catalyst, which creates I forgot what it was. It turns it in basically into H2O.
So this happens after the DPF filter?
Yeah.
Wow.
Kevin says everyone just wants to roll call all over the hybrid behind them at the traffic light. Those individuals are basically ruining it for everybody. There's really no need to do that. The same effect's going to happen. I don't care if you have catalytic converters on your gasoline vehicle, but you watch any new truck. I don't care if it's a Super Duty or if it's this GMC Sierra Denali, but you got this BS looking Toyota Tundra walking down over here. All three of them hammered down. Don't tell me you're not going to see no snush come out them tailpipes.
Oh yeah.
Come on, don't you bullshit me. Are you going past people on bicycles and putting your hammer down on your gas? Come on, man. Come on, man.
The diesels are rolling coal and the gassers are squatted.
Like, why? Why?
A lot of people think that's cool because, big old smoke cloud comes out of it. And guys, I'm not going to say I don't think it's cool either. It does look kind of cool, but let's all face it. Anytime you're doing that stuff, you're just pumping money out the tailpipe anyway. It ain't
Unburned
burning
hydrocarbons.
I accidentally crop dusted a Prius from California yesterday.
But I mean, in all reality, people think that stuff looks cool though. But when we were at the show, when me and Ray were at the show, talking to these tuners and stuff like that, and car guys, a lot of them tune them trucks to optimize everything that's going in that engine. They're trying to burn as much as they possibly can. They're not after a show. So that's why you seen that guy not too long ago. His video was going viral. He was like a 3,000 horsepower Cummins or something like that. And people in the crowd were like, oh my God, that thing's making that much power. And it's that clean coming out of the exhaust. There was nothing coming out of the exhaust because the tuner set that truck up And the amount of money that they had in that thing was making sure every little bit of fuel that went into that engine was being burnt. That's how you make power.
That's what's up.
Is that DS yawning? Is that what I hear?
Hey, you guys falling asleep over here, man.
Yeah. Out of nowhere. Just
He's wanting to cuddle.
He's out.
Man.
It's
I think he's
cool.
out.
I don't know. We just had a few guys chime in at the very top of the chat about fuel prices and fuel shortage. Is this a real thing? I don't know anybody on the inside in the fuel industry. I mean, I do know one guy. He works at a refinery, but that's here locally. I don't know what's going on the East Coast. If there's, I don't know. It's something to think about because, I burn diesel. This guy burns diesel. This guy burns diesel. Got gasoline in my. Hey, it just reminded me. Today I lay down, right? Don't have my safety glasses on. The one time I don't have my safety glasses on, I'm looking up underneath this 04 Super Duty 6.8, right? One of them Tritons, them 6.8s. Doink. Gasoline. Right in my tear duct. Ah! Immediately thought of Ford Boss. I'm like, that son of a bitch.
Should have been wearing a hard hat, man.
I was just saying hi, man.
God damn it.
As far as the diesel shortage, they're saying if we were to run out and we start using our reserve, we would have 25 days of reserve. So it's kind of getting misconstrued.
And there's also
306 in Georgia for gas.
there's also
Damn.
a bunch of guys that are saying like that are actually part of this. There's a guy that's on TikTok I follow exclusively, and he's not one side or the other, if you know what I'm saying. I don't need to say anything more than that. He's kind of like right down the middle. He sees the BS the way it is, and he said, "You know what? This is stupid. This is social media and the news agencies trying to fire this up and get everybody in a tizzy and stuff like that. When if you actually follow the amount of fuel the oil that's being brought to us and fuel being produced and everything else, there's no way that we can possibly run out of diesel when they're saying we're going to. If you actually look at the numbers and you go into like all the government charts that are accessible to the public, and you learn how to do your research like he does. He buys mining units that are shut down, that are moved to another location, and he'll come in with like $30,000 to $40,000 and he'll buy those mining units and then reactivate them again and they'll start actually pumping oil and stuff again, and he'll make money off of those units that the oil companies don't see fit anymore because they're making money too slowly. And he's a part of all this, and I follow this guy pretty closely, and he said that all this stuff is a way for them to get you guys all stressed out over stuff and fighting with each other and spreading a bunch of nonsense all over social media and stuff like that. It's a distraction to what is actually going on.
Mm-hmm.
There's other guys that are in the oil field that are actually out in the oil field that are doing this stuff every single day, that are trying to like educate people and let them know that we're working nonstop and we're producing nonstop. How that this makes no sense what you guys are actually believing in what the news is actually putting out. We don't see a shortage, and we're the ones out here actually producing the stuff for you guys.
Yeah, I think that whole thing where they said we're going to run out maybe was a bit of a stretch. But I did hear that for the last, I don't know, couple of months, they've been releasing fuel from reserves to artificially lower the price for a period of time.
Well, they did that for quite a few months, and then all of a sudden the prices and everything went back up again. So I don't know if it was switching from summer to winter type fuel, or if it was releasing reserves over the last few months. But if you notice, the prices were sky high. Then all of a sudden they started dropping out of nowhere for like a month or two, and then all of a sudden they started creeping right back up again. So is it reserves, or is it because they went from summer to winter blend?
Well, some conspiracy guys will say that they're trying to artificially keep the price low for now as they get past this election so that they could make things feel a little more cozy for the election.
I'm sure.
The midterm situation. So now that that's done, we'll see what happens. A lot of people
How are
think it's
we?
gonna,
How are they keeping it artificially low when it's been
it's not even
artificially
that
high
low.
for a couple of years?
That's a good question.
Well,
Uh,
apparently,
I mean, I'm just gonna say it. It was just fine not too long ago, and then we turned off all the oil, and then all the fuel prices went up, and then we're like, oh, gas is expensive now. I just maybe just turn it back on, and then the price will go down.
It would just
I mean, this is not that hard.
Paid
Paid attention in economics class too. This is really not that hard. Just more oil, lower price.
well, the thing is, they were using this reserve. Apparently, I don't know, but
Mhm.
some of the people say that they've been using this reserve for the last couple of months, and they're going to have to turn around and refill it, which could be an issue. Now they actually have to refill it. Strategic.
We
Keyword
touched base on this
strategic.
on my live stream Sunday with Lake Speed, the lubrication specialist. So it's actually pretty interesting about the refineries and stuff like that and the way things are going on. So artificially, I guess you could say, prices.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That could be.
Because you were talking about the guy on TikTok that you follow,
Yeah,
Rich.
I mean, he brought up a good point, and he talked about, you know, the leadership we have now versus what we had before, and he was like, you know, previously people were saying our reserves were high and everything else, and all this was going on, and it was so great. But let's tap into the government database of what happened during that same time frame. This is what was there. This is what was there when leader one left, and this is what there is there now. It's like identical. So all this stuff that people has been spreading this whole entire time about depleting this and depleting that, and all these, the numbers don't match up. When you actually look at the statistics that are being put out by the people that control the reserves, that look at everything, it's almost identical. Nothing's changed. So where's this poor information? Where's this bad information coming from? And this is from government database. This is not google.com or whatever. This is per the information that's being put out by the people that control the reserves and look at everything and keep the numbers and stuff up to date. Now, where are these numbers coming from that we're seeing on the news and everywhere else? They're not matching what's actually going on. So I think a lot of it is it's controlled chaos is what it is.
Everybody check in. What is your current fuel mileage on your Super Duty? You got a duty? You're rocking gas? Okay. Yes, you got gas. Or you rocking that 6.7? What's that, 9 to the gallon? Damn, boy, you suck.
I'm in the single digit club, 9.8. That's what's up.
Okay.
That's where I'm at too. I'm about 9.8,
But you
9.5.
tow everywhere, don't you, DS? Like you always got your trip.
Towing.
Yeah. I've been towing
55
all week.
VW. Get out
Still
of
9.
here.
I'm at
20.8.
24.9. 24.9.
18.
Don't make Cody tell you. Cody's gonna tell you 38.9 miles to the gallon, baby.
On the truck, we're 19-ish and around town on a VW 55.
10.4 on a dually with 35s.
Ouch.
10.3.
With no trailer?
12 towing.
Dude,
Big oof on the 9.8.
I'm 9.8 because I've been towing trailers for 2 weeks straight. Like everywhere I go, I have a trailer.
19.
That's
Okay.
my only
Okay.
excuse.
17 kilometers for 100 liters. I don't talk in
Yeah, that's
that. 17, 18 on 22 tremor. 16, 17. You guys, I love it. I ain't even gonna say you, Daddy. Don't even get me started.
Hey, this dude was so desperate to buy a Super Duty for his plowing company that he was going to all these, he was going to all these dealers and he was looking everywhere for a Super Duty, and he's seen our Super Duty in the back. It was our 6.2 gasser, only like 60,000 miles on it. It's like a 2011. And he went in and he was like, can I buy that Super Duty? Can I buy that Super Duty? And it's been on our lot forever, like since like brand new. That's been our plow truck. He bought the 6.2 Super Duty plow truck because that's how desperate he was for a Super Duty plow truck. He bought the one that's been stuck on our lot since like 2011, 2012. He wanted it, bought it right there.
What? All right, it's a car dealership. I mean, they're in the business to
bought it
sell
right
cars,
there.
right? Mitch Seymour. He says he's doing 42 round town BMW Series 2.0 liter diesel and 59 mpg on a run down the motorway. Motorway. I don't know.
Motor.
Motor.
He's saying
Motorway.
motorway.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever seen a 2-liter diesel Cruise?
Yes. Yes.
One of them got traded in like a month ago, and I heard this thing chuck, sitting there idling and stuff, and I was like, what
You
the hell
guys
is
still
that?
have it?
Is that a diesel in that thing? And they were like, yeah, it's only got 90,000 miles on it. They're putting it on the lot for sale. It just got traded in. I was like,
Oh,
a
wow.
diesel Cruise? Never seen one.
Wow.
Dude, do you guys still have it?
I don't know.
Oh,
Ray wants it.
yeah, I do.
The thing sounded mean just sitting there idling, and I was like, what is that?
My Volkswagen sounds like a damn
Hi, Rob.
tractor. It rolls coal.
Don't trash the 6.2 FBM.
No, never. That's actually, to be honest with you, even though I do like the 7.3, if I had to pick a gasser in a Super Duty, that's like to say that that's the most reliable that I've seen in the gasser platform. I would have to pick the 6.2. That's what I-
Diesel Topaz.
That's what I would choose, because I'm not a big tow guy or work guy with diesel trucks like you guys are. If I've been thinking about getting a 250 with a 6.2.
How
Okay.
about those diesel Escorts and Rangers from the 80s
Don't know much about them.
with the Perkins diesel in them?
Bup, 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 bup.
I'll tell you about those 5 liters I've been working on lately from the
Let
80s.
Let me see something here. I wanted to show you guys something.
Have you seen the guys who've taken the 4.9s and put LS heads on them?
No.
The 300s, and they cut a LS head in half and marry them together to make a head for this thing.
No.
The bore spacing is almost dead nuts. It's like 20 thousandths off. But they weld them together and make them work. Like,
How
are you
many?
kidding?
How many of you guys,
Oh, that looks wrong.
how many of you
Oh.
guys
It
are
does.
running this thing not over your shoulder on your truck? You guys know what this is.
The
This
CCV
is-
box.
This is that CCV.
That's the junk one.
Tell me about it. This is a 22. I have a 22 and a 23. I want to do a comparison. I've already made the video.
Did DS just
Um,
fall over?
He's out of here, dude. He ain't said
No,
shiz
I was just turning off the lights.
So you can go to sleep again.
Just
it.
resting my eyes. Not
The
sleeping.
the lights were on, so
You got a gnat in your eye. You're trying to suffocate it.
hit the lights.
Okay, what the hell?
That took me a second. I'm like, what the fuck did you just say? That's good. That's good shit. That's good shit. He got me 2 times today. That was number 2. The earlier today, I can't repeat on air. It was kind of funny. I was like, I haven't heard that in a long time. That's good shit, dude. That's funny. That's good shit.
So where's this new one?
Okay, do I need to go get the new one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, Christ. All right, hold on. We can
You
continue to
started
talk,
it.
though. Well, it's something that was kind of Kind of cool.
May as well finish it.
It's okay. I'm just going to be forced to get a bubbly now.
Maybe we can sell those instead of, you know, that other company's product.
Yeah.
Because
Garbage.
at least it says Ford Motor Company on that part. But don't
guess-
everyone go out and buy them because there's only like 5 in the whole United States. So
All right. So here's a little update. I just ordered 20 new sample kits from Blackstone. And I talked to one of the reps at Blackstone. I'm going to be sending like a dozen different oil samples out all at the same time to get tested. And I said, I hope I don't back you guys up, but I'd like to get them all back at the same time. So she said she agreed to do them all at the same time and give me all the info at the same time.
Oh, bless her heart.
there's only 5 of these available in the country right now. So don't go out buying them.
So quite interesting.
Let's buy all of them,
Hold on.
and then we will control it.
Good point.
We could increase the price so we can have at it.
Very clean mafia.
That's what everyone else does. They just buy up everything and then jack the price up.
Yeah.
So yeah, here it is. You guys can
Wow.
see.
Wow. Double fisting.
So this is a box.
Yeah, it is.
This one's a smaller box than this box. We had this box on our current Gen 6.7s. I mean, if you kind of look like it, it looks
Why are you guys
like
laughing?
a scorpion. Oh, he just woke up and realized that we're laughing.
You wouldn't
No, I just hear
understand.
you howling. I've been hearing you.
But interestingly enough, this actually, I got this part number from 2 things. I saw a video of a 23 under the hood, and I noticed that the CCV box was different. We had a late model 22 come in, and it had this CCV box on. And what I found interesting was that even though this was a 22, this has no sensor in it. Is this a secret? Not a secret, a clue for 23? Our eClume, our electronic engine control wiring harness, is probably going to have a sensor connector here. Maybe they're getting prepared. It kind of reminds me of the 6 liters. Remember in 03, we went to 04, and we'd have like certain 03 parts trickled on 04, and it was just kind of a weird mismatched. Well, this is kind of that, a 22.67 23 CCV box, but really it's a 22 version because the 23 would have a sensor on here. I think, could you put this on the trucks that have these? I think so. Would it mount up? Absolutely. Bolt holes and orientation still the same.
Give
I've
you a
never
lot more
taken
room.
this. Yeah, it would definitely give you a lot more room. I think it would look cleaner. I've never taken this one apart. This is one that's 20 and beyond, and doesn't. I mean, I don't know. I don't think there's a filter in here. Skidoo. Is there a filter in here? This one
Think
is
it's
one
fine.
piece of plastic.
How did you put your hands on that?
This?
Yeah.
I ordered it.
And you were one of the all the people in the world that got one. Out of the 5 that were.
I got it. And you know what? I played the Mega Millions and I didn't win. Ain't that a bitch?
Someone in
about that?
California did.
Yeah.
Ain't
How
that a
about that?
bitch?
How about that little controversy right there and what all they pulled their little stunt on Twitter or whatever it was, and people were shedding some light on that. Like, that was weird. How they said they posted that nobody won it. It went up to 2.3, And then right after that, they posted, oh, wait, check your numbers. Here's the numbers. And then right after that, they posted, oh, this person out in California won it. People caught that right away and was like, where was that post you guys just put up and said nobody won?
Mhm.
And then now all of a sudden you're saying there's numbers, and then now somebody from California won it. Like, what are you guys trying to pull here?
It's always somebody in California that wins it.
That's somebody called that right away. They caught them immediately, and they never recovered from that because they were like, nah, there's screenshots and everything else. You guys posted that nobody won, and now all of a sudden you backtrack, delete it, and then, oh, somebody won it.
You guys want to see a video of me putting this on a truck?
Yeah.
Yes or no's?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
What do you think?
I
You gonna
think so.
You know, wear red high heels for it?
Yes.
That sounds like the beginning to a bad porn I don't want to be in.
Is that
Nobody said
all,
you were.
mama?
Oh,
Nobody said you were going to be in it. We said you were going to watch it.
This
sure.
is the
stop
ramp,
this.
and this is
for
where you turn it
volunteering.
on at.
Thanks for disinvolunteering yourself. God, just watch the video.
All right, I'll watch
Next
it.
question. How many of you
Love
guys are leaving these on your truck? Are you taking them off? Or are you leaving them on?
I don't know if that's a question we want to answer right now.
I don't know. It's it's kind of you know what I don't like, and I think Ford needs to change. You know, they're talking about saving money, cutting back. I'd hate to see good, hardworking people lose their job or get cut or get an early severance package. The things that we see on ground level, because we're worker bees, we're making money for the company. We see a lot of problems with parts. And this is one prime example. I don't like the fact that they took off the hood light and the under hood sound shielding off the Super Duties. I hear a lot of people guys complain about it. Why can I add it? Why'd they take it? Because they wanted to save money, I would assume.
Yeah, that should have stayed there.
That monetary value, I'll pay the extra $30 that you're going to add on to the truck. Well, you save money over millions of vehicles being made. That's fine. I can see where you're trying to save money. But what I don't understand is it really more cost effective to throw this box away because it's one-time use, because you can't reuse this, than to replace some 2-cent O-rings? Now hold on. You deleted the under hood light and various other things off these trucks. I'm assuming again to save money. I think we need to go deeper and start getting away with this kind of stuff. There's no reason why we have to throw this away. Make it, design it, make a different collar. Like the collar that we had on the 11s, the 12s, the 13s. There was no issue with that. There's
Yeah.
no reason why this needs to be complicated, so much so that an individual cannot reuse this and you have to condemn this whole box.
It's an emissions device.
I just worked on a 22. It had 4,000 miles on it. And I had to take the lower intake off. Well, if I take the lower intake off, I have to take this off because I have to separate this connection. There's nothing wrong with this box.
Yeah.
No, I don't care if it costs Ford $14 to make this or whatever it is. That's irrelevant. The fact of the matter is we're wasting this. This is costing money. And that is going to trickle down to the consumer. And the only person that's going to control that is Ford. I think that bugs me. And it's not just stuff with 6.7. There's stuff with everything that we're working on, with all these torque to yield and one-time use fasteners, when really, if it's a torque to yield, yes, sir. This bolt that holds this panel on in the back of the vehicle, there's no reason why this is a remove and throw away bolt. I could easily apply a Loctite to this and send it down the road because this bolt is on national back order.
But
Like, no.
that 21
No.
Mustang I just did where they didn't get quite enough silicone in the back valve cover where the valve cover mates with the top of the cylinder head. They didn't put any silicone in that little crevice where it comes up over the cam lobe. And when I was pulling all that stuff apart, and it was a 2.3 EcoBoost front cover reseal on a 21 Explorer, when you pull off that little PCV line, we've always had that little latch that you could pull back or squeeze in, pull the line off, set it out of the way. The new ones, you have
Oh
to
my
break,
gosh, I know.
you have to
It's
break the
orange and you
freaking
gotta
thing.
cut it. Yeah.
You have to throw it away. Why would you not? Why did you do that? You just wasted money doing that. Why didn't you put the same style of connection that was on there before that you could just squeeze the little tabs, pull it off, let the guy put it back on. Then it's not in stock because it's a thing that everybody has to cut off and throw away. And then we got to wait
EPA.
for it an extra day. It's stupid.
That 2020 Ranger I put the engine in.
Yeah.
The only thing keeping that from leaving was that tube.
Yeah. Same with me. I had to wait an extra day for that stupid tube when you could have just easily left the same style that was there before and it would have been fine.
All I did was like, remember that video that you put out? Like, hey, you can do this if you're in a pinch. You know, use
Yeah.
like the. I did that just so I was able to move the vehicle around.
That's what I did. I mean, I still had to wait for that tube because I didn't want to get in trouble with Ford, but
Mm-hmm.
I used that little line disconnect and kind of like moved it around inside there and stuff. And I kind of got it to like disconnect so I could reuse it again. But then I realized after I did that a couple times, it was actually starting to break apart. And I was like, this is so stupid.
And all you guys did was just bring your truck in for service. And you
Yeah.
had no idea of what goes on behind the scenes. Paperwork up the wazoo. Pictures up the wazoo. Prior approvals, you got it. Photo imaging, no problem.
Mhm.
It's a pain.
Did you
But-
just? You pulled-
And
Home
the
Alone?
little refrigerator that you gotta use the key to open. You got it.
it.
You got it. Classic. And it's gonna be coming up on TV for probably the next 2 months. So get ready.
Christmas vacation, man. Come on now.
Get ready to see Buzz's old girlfriend. Woof.
Woof.
We are going to we're gonna call it quits tonight. I had fun. I feel energetic.
Hey, wait. Clusters, instrument clusters.
What about?
Remember that Econoline? I've been waiting for almost 7 months for an instrument cluster. We contacted multiple companies to work with us, and they kept blowing smoke up our butt. They kept like, "Oh, we'll help you. We'll do this. We'll do that." Then we found out that they were trying to order the cluster through Ford, and then turn around and resell it to us because they didn't have the means to fix the cluster. But Ford had those Econoline clusters on back order that you can't get. So we found a company out of Crystal Lake, Illinois called Auto Electric with a K. The guy's name is Steve. He took the cluster in. We got it back about a month later. He rebuilt and reflowed the entire cluster, put all new bulbs and stuff in for us, vacuum sealed the cluster and everything, put it in nice packaging, sent it back to us, charged us $250, let us hook the customer up. And we gave him, instead of charging him like $600-700 because the new cluster was 700 plus, a refurbished one was about $600 or $700. We charged the customer like $375, $400, and was like, "Look, man, we apologize. Sorry, this is taking so long. We didn't have anybody who was going to work with us." So if you guys are looking for somebody to rebuild some of your older clusters and you can't get new ones, the company's called Auto Electric with a K, out of Crystal Lake, Illinois. They did a phenomenal job. So, okay.
Good
Proceed.
plug.
Yeah.
Good plug, because especially when we need these modules for these older vehicles, IDMs,
Yeah.
Not so much FICMs, but like the old 104 pin PCMs.
Yeah.
Those are the places that you can find those, and definitely good to know. Again, thank you everybody for coming through. My crew, 5 -1, 6 -1. I don't know what the hell word he went. All I see is a headlight.
He's like a 0.29.
0.29.
Yeah, he's 0.29 right now. He's been gone most of the time.
I'm gonna have to have a talk with his manager and make sure that he's not going to be on some type of like domestic duty punishment.
Should we have like some kind of like a Bluetooth controllable like alarm set up in his garage, so when he falls asleep, we just log into it and like set off an air raid siren?
Well, he doesn't know on my burner phone is I have it hooked up to his Ford Pass. Ooh.
Can you set his car alarm off?
Oh, I will.
There you
We'll
go.
see you guys. Take care. We'll catch you next time. See ya.
See you, everybody.